Alright, what's up? So here we go. We're at the ranch. Last week at the end of the video I said I was going to copy this Pocket Rocket as my sample for trying to make a new ski. Or make a copy of the ski. Obviously the ski just... So what I'm going to do is I've got the ski here and my day job requires a lot of paper, so I have a bunch of 11 by 17s here that I'm simply going to lay out the length of the ski, like so. Is this like the best way to do it? Probably not, but what I need is a template so that I can get it from here. I could probably just trace it onto the MDF, but I'll show you why I want to do it this way this time. And again, I don't know if it's the right way, but it's the way I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these out. Looks like I'm going to need one more. No big deal. Again, my day job is paper intensive, so I'll just put it here. And now we've got enough paper to cover from one side of the ski to the other. Check. Take a little bit of masking tape. Hold her together. This is so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to tape this together, and then I will trace the ski. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this together with just a spot of masking tape at each joint here, because I need to make some sort of shape that I can trim down, and then I will transfer it to MDF in another upcoming episode. But I have to have some kind of a shape, and the thing of it is that we learned that the core really only goes from the contact point to contact point. Often it doesn't go all the way through. So I can put this thing down. I've got a little bit of pressure on it, and I'll just take like so. Yeah, it's marking. Good deal. And we'll just mark it out. And we're not going to worry about the tip because this is a Zach Anderson special. So what we can do is we can shape the tip kind of however we want. Obviously we're not going to do a square. That'd be silly looking. And we're not going to do an exact copy of this tip because that's, is that skiing plagiarism? Is skiing plagiarism a thing? Maybe it is. But what I kind of want to do here is, I know I just said I wasn't going to copy the tip, but the reason I wanted to do it out of paper before I tried tracing it onto MDF is that I wanted to do this like so. Let's see how that turned out. Yeah, pretty close. So this would be the tail. Tip and tail both start with a T. Whatever. If I spell something wrong, too bad. So we've got our shape, and then for the sake of doing something, I'm gonna grab a cutter. Maybe. Well, I have the scissors. I wish I just had a blade, but we'll do her. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just do a rough cut here. Can't take too much off the tip because we didn't trace that, so we'll leave a bunch. I had an X-Acto knife somewhere handy, but we kind of got the tail shape. If anything, I'm just going to square it off a little bit. The Pocket Rocket was supposed to be a twin tip, as you can see. So, right? So the tip and tail are pretty similar. However, I don't think the dimensions are the same at the tip and tail. I'm pretty sure they're not. So, Anyway, it skis pretty well backwards. Not that I'm any kind of an expert, but you know, maybe I should work on getting better. So super rough cut. I could have just done that with an X-Acto, and maybe I probably should have, but I've misplaced it. So I will come back, trim this down with my X-Acto, pick a tail, pick a tip shape. We'll get that covered. So one thing I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to round off, I'm going to square off the tail so I don't really ski backwards that often. But anyway, so what I'll be able to do with this once I have it the way we want it, and then we'll transfer it to MDF, and then from there we'll be able to cut our core. We'll be able to cut our core, and then also all of our other materials based on our template that we're getting cooked up. So we could cut everything and get it ready to go in the press. The only other thing we have to figure out is this shape. Suppose we could do this. We could just set that aside for now. Some more paper here. We could, in theory, I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll try it out. Yeah, now it's crooked on the paper, but the line should be straight because my straight edge is straight, I think. And then I'm kind of thinking if I just do this, so there's the contact point and there's the contact point. Is this going to work? Yeah, it should. I guess that doesn't matter that I had a straight edge, does it? This probably isn't the way to do this. Maybe I'll draw it on the computer and just measure it with a caliper. That's probably the better way to do it. Look at this gouge. Oh man. Can you all see that? Look at the size of that thing. I should have patched that. Should we patch it? We should patch it. Alright, we'll patch it on another day. This thing right here, by the way, is for crampons. The guy I bought it from had crampons for it. Let's just do one more line. What the heck? We're just trying stuff out. We'll just draw it on the computer, I think. That didn't pan out at all. I was thinking with the straight line, like this is what I was thinking, right? So we would have a straight line, and then that there was enough camber there that we could measure it. But I don't know. It's not much, so we'll come up with a different solution. Maybe I will cut some wood and start the form and just work it till it matches. Interesting dilemma. We'll have to figure something out. There's a swap meet this weekend at the local ski area. One of them anyway. Buck Hill, I think. No, Buck Hill was a couple weeks ago. Wild Mountain, maybe. Anyway, there's a swap meet. I'll try to get some footage of stuff to like watch out for, and I'll try to get that put in next week. Also, I'm going to be stopping at a local shop to drop off the professor's new skis to get mounted, and maybe I could pull those binders quick. All right, so this is a Rossignol Dirty Bird. It's a few years old. It is a nice ski. I got this pair used for not a lot of money, but I think it had only been used a couple times. So I'm trying to remember if this is a sized binding or if hammerheads were one size fits all. I think they're one size fits all. This is just a protective guard. Keep the water out of the screw holes. We'll pull one for sure. We'll see what happens. Would help if I knew where all my tools were, and I don't. Of course, yeah, tool organization. Who would have thought? So let's just pull one. Hopefully, I think these are one size fits all. I really hope so. A lot of telemark bindings, first of all, they're left and right foot. And secondly, they usually come in large and small size. So if you have like a 26 and 26 boot and down, you need a small. And if you have a 27 boot and up, you need a large. So that's fairly common with telemark binding, unless you have NTNs, which I'll talk about in a couple weeks. I believe I'm picking up some NTNs. I've shown the NTN bindings on here before. But anyway, hammerheads. These are a nice binding, 22 designs. Like I said, whoever I bought this from a guy who was selling it for someone, I don't know. I know a guy that knows a guy or something like that. And they didn't want this particular setup. This is a great ski though. I took it out a few times, but the professor wanted these bindings, and who am I to tell the professor that he can't have the bindings? Those are getting pretty big. Friends, or tell your friends to subscribe, or sneak onto their YouTube and subscribe them anyway. Whatever. All right. See you next week.